There is something unsettling about control. Most people imagine it as loud, aggressive, obvious, but real control, the kind that gets inside your mind, is almost silent. It is soft, it is subtle, and the most dangerous part is that it feels like your own thoughts. So here is the question no one likes to ask. How do people influence you without you ever noticing? And how do you know when it is happening? To understand this, you have to start with a painful truth. People do not get manipulated because they are weak. They get manipulated because they are human. Human beings do not fear manipulation. We fear disconnection. And manipulation works best when it disguises itself as closeness. The first dark trick is something psychologists call intermittent validation. Think about a person who praises you one day and ignores you the next. Warm, then cold. Kind, then distant. You never know which version you will get. Your brain becomes addicted to the uncertainty. It starts chasing the high of approval, like pulling the lever on a slot machine, hoping this time it will land on connection. Casinos use this. Social media uses this. Toxic people use this too. The unpredictability strengthens the bond. You confuse inconsistency with intensity. You mistake anxiety for love. The second trick is quiet guilt. Not the kind where someone says you did something wrong. The kind where they do not have to say anything at all. The sigh, the heavy silence, the small shift in tone that makes you wonder what you did. Suddenly, you are apologizing without knowing why. You feel responsible for emotions that are not yours. Guilt becomes the leash that keeps you in place. The third trick is identity framing. This is when someone repeatedly tells you who you are in a way that shrinks you. You are sensitive. You overreact. You are lucky I stay. No one else would understand you. If you hear a story about yourself enough times, your mind starts believing it is true. Identity framing does not control your actions. It controls the version of yourself you think you are allowed to be. And once someone shapes your identity, they no longer need to control your choices. You will limit yourself automatically. The fourth trick is social isolation. Not physically removing you from others, just planting small seeds. Your friend looks at you wrong. Your family questions you. They tell you someone is jealous or untrustworthy or secretly against you. Slowly, your world shrinks until they are the only one left in it. Control grows strongest in the soil of loneliness. The fifth trick is moral inversion. This is when someone harms you, but somehow you end up apologizing. They lie, and you feel guilty. They get angry, and you comfort them. They cross a boundary, and you wonder if you were too sensitive. Manipulators understand something most people never realize. Good people blame themselves first. They weaponize your empathy. They use your compassion against you. They know you will try to fix things even when it is not your job. But the most powerful psychological trick of all is something far quieter. Something most people never notice until they have already lost themselves. Learned helplessness. This is when someone convinces you that there is no point resisting, no point speaking up, no point trying. They say things like, "That is just how I am. You are too dramatic. No one else will love you like I do. You should be grateful I stay." Every time you stand up for yourself, they twist it. They dismiss you. They overwhelm you. They make it feel easier to stay silent, and eventually you stop fighting. Not because you agree, but because your mind has been trained to believe your voice does not matter. When someone takes your voice, they do not need to take anything else. You will hand it over yourself. But here is the part no one tells you. People who manipulate are almost never doing it because they are powerful. They do it because they are terrified. Terrified of abandonment. Terrified of losing control. Terrified that without manipulation, they will not be enough. Manipulation is not the behavior of the strong. It is the survival strategy of the insecure. And the moment you understand that, the spell begins to break. So how do you escape psychological control? You start with the moments that feel confusing. Confusion is not a flaw. It is a warning sign. Manipulation always hides in the fog. If you feel guilty without knowing why, if you feel small around one specific person, if your confidence only disappears when they walk into the room, that is not coincidence. That is conditioning. The second step is reclaiming your narrative. When someone tells you who you are, ask yourself, who benefits from me believing this? Once you ask that question, most manipulative statements fall apart. The third step is rebuilding your connections. Manipulators isolate you because community gives you perspective. Your clarity threatens their control. And the final step is remembering this one truth. Control cannot exist without silence. Not active silence, emotional silence. The moment you question the pattern, their power weakens. The moment you set boundaries, their tactics lose force. The moment you decide you deserve better, their version of the world collapses. Because manipulation only works when you doubt yourself. Once you reclaim your worth, their influence becomes transparent. And when you finally see the strings, you stop being the puppet. That is the dark psychology of control. Not the cinematic kind, the everyday kind, the kind that hides in relationships, families, workplaces, and friendships. The kind that only works when you do not realize it is happening. But now you do.